Hi guys. I know there's been a lot of changes to my channel recently. Um, and I did make a video kind of explaining that. And going forward, my channel is like, I still want my channel to be a place of, you know, where we can talk about feelings and, stuff like that. But over the last few months, so much has happened. And I had my videos were like scheduled out 6 months. The last video that posted was from March, and it was before Robbie even had that incident happen and started the process of coming home. But I do still want to be, have an available presence on my channel. It's just going to be a little different. I'm not going to share as much or as often as I used to, because things can change so rapidly, and just, the feelings that you had 6 months ago may not apply anymore. We've been through a lot, and I shared a lot of my grieving journey after losing my son till I shared a lot of it on here, and in a lot of ways I'm sad to see that go, because I know that grieving so openly helped me and it helped others. But that was also intertwined with a lot of other stuff that was going on with my marriage, with my work life, with my kids. And those aren't necessarily things that I want available to the public forever. Especially being my marriage was in a bad place. And I shared a lot of my feelings, but we've been in therapy, and a lot of those things have gotten better. A lot of those things have changed. And so to have those videos come up 6 months, a year from now, or whatever, as if it's like current and relevant, does a disservice to all the emotional work that we've done to move past it. So I had to take some of that, well, all of it. I took all of it down, because I had over 600 videos that were, about half of them were already posted from the last 2 years, and the other half was not posted yet, but would have been in the coming months. And I just feel like to really come at it from a place of growth and who we are now today versus who we were when we were in a place where we could not connect emotionally and we couldn't move past all the things that were hurting us and communicate in an effective way, does a great disservice to who we're trying to be as a couple now. So it had to go. It all had to go. And yeah, that does represent a lot of work that I did on that, but that was my choice. Like, he didn't ask me to take it down. I took it down because I feel like we're trying to be better. And honestly, a lot has changed. The entire dynamic between us, in our grief, we couldn't understand each other. He shut down, I grieved loudly. Both of us, the way that we were grieving was unintentionally hurting each other, because I couldn't understand why he wasn't grieving loudly, and so to me it looked like he wasn't grieving, and he was so shut down he couldn't connect with me. We couldn't connect, and that exacerbated our already difficult, we've been through a lot as a married couple. We've been through a lot in our lives together, with our kids, separately, professionally, just a lot. And communication problems, coupled with him being on the autism spectrum, undiagnosed, which makes a lot of sense now thinking about it. I had thought for a long time that maybe he was, but definitively, I couldn't say for sure, so I didn't know how to handle like some of the things that he did. Like, was this executive functioning problems or was it laziness? Because those are two different things, you know? And so I didn't know how to approach things, and he wasn't willing to accept my help. But now we're in a different place where he's realizing that labels are helpful and not harmful, and we're able to put a word to something like, oh, this is why this happens because I'm feeling this, you know? So being able to come at it from a different place helps tremendously. And as such, in order to move forward in a healthy way, I couldn't have reminders coming up of so many things that I was struggling with, so many things that I really did overshare. And instead of going through 600 something videos, I just took everything down. But we're starting on a new path forward. A lot of the money that I had been saving up that I thought was going to be my divorce fund, because that's where I was. I really was there. Mentally, emotionally, I was just done. And I spent the last year working towards, well, a few things, because I thought I was going to be going to Germany to see Robbie in Germany, but after he's like coming home from the army, he asked me not to spend my money to go out there. So a lot of it was going to be, you know, my escape fund, basically. But yesterday, we've made so much progress that at this point I'm like, no, I don't want to leave this marriage. I want things to get better, and I believe that things are getting better. So I took my savings and I paid his student loans. And he said, well, why didn't you pay the credit card? I said, here's my thought process. The credit cards represent what we're currently working on, what we're working through as a couple, what we're working through as a family. The student loans represent our past debts, our past, everything in the past where we were unintentionally but actively emotionally damaging each other all the time. And it's in the past. We're moving forward. So I wanted to pay off his student loans so I could say, your debt is paid in full. Your past debts are paid. And honestly, I didn't even realize how much of a connection that has to our faith, too. As Christians, that's who Jesus is. Jesus is not the person that's like, oh, shame on you, you're such a sinner. Jesus is the person that says, hey, I've already taken care of this. Let's move forward. And so, like, my husband didn't ask me to use all that money that I had saved up to. I did pay for other stuff. Like, I paid for my own personal gym. I built a gym. Well, he helped me. We built a gym in my my garage. What used to be the hot tub room for my son Tilk. He had a hot tub from Make-A-Wish. And after he died, the hot tub died too. So we've been turning it into a gym so I can work out without, it's our local gym. It was very difficult for me to use it because during the times that I could go there, there was usually people there that were using all the equipment. I wasn't getting good workouts, so I was working out at home anyway. It's a very small gym. If you've been on my channel for a while, you'll already know that I live in a town where there's only about 600 people in the winter. So it's very, very tiny. Everything here is tiny. And so I built a gym. I sent some of the money to Robbie because now that he's getting out of the army early, he owes the army money. So I sent him some of that. I paid some bills that Dylan had, my oldest, that he wasn't able to cover due to just, it's expensive to live on your own. He didn't ask me to, I just did it. I think if he had asked me to, I'd have probably said no, but he didn't ask. He was just struggling trying to figure it out. And doing things with the kids, like going to Bay Days, our local festival and stuff. But I used a big chunk of my savings to pay off my husband's student loans, specifically so I could wake him up a couple of days ago and tell him, your past debt is paid. There's no reason to live in the past. We're going to move forward. We're going to get better. So I think I definitely will continue making videos on my channel. It's just going to be different going forward. I do wish that I had left a lot of the videos of Teal'c, like when I was talking about Teal'c. But because everything is so intertwined, I wanted a fresh start. Everything's so intertwined, complicated. You know, that's what life is. Life is messy. So I wanted a fresh start. Now, I have all those videos on my computer. They're just not on YouTube anymore. I deleted them. Everything's gone off of YouTube. Now, my little TikTok makeup videos, I still have those scheduled out a full year. The videos that we'll post next fall are the ones that I'm making currently. And I'm not changing that. Those are something fun. I really enjoy doing. They're fairly harmless. You know, some of them are very thirst trappy, but my husband's okay with that. In fact, he thinks it's kind of awesome because he's like, I love that you feel so comfortable in your body, even though I made it hard for you to feel comfortable in your body for a long time. You know, he was projecting a lot of his own issues onto me for a really long time. But we're getting better. We're in therapy every Tuesday. We couldn't go, we're not going to be able to go this week because one of the problems is, like, they did get us in for an emergency session right away. But then because of our work schedules, things got a little complicated. So our next therapy session is actually in August. And then it'll be every Tuesday. I have no idea how expensive therapy is going to be, but we decided that even if our health insurance doesn't cover it, we need this. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure it out. And I've also decided that because I took on several jobs at once, because I thought I needed to find a way to support me and the kids financially by myself. But I don't feel like I have to do that anymore, so I'm scaling back there too. I put in my 2 weeks at the pizza place. It's just, there's too much hustle there. It's a great place, don't get me wrong. It's a great place. My boss there, she's like become one of my closest friends. But I need to let my nervous system heal, which means I need to stop over-functioning. I need to take a step back from some things. And that's the easiest one to step back from. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping back from that. I'm not giving up my job as a caregiver. I love that job. The lady I take care of reminds me so much of Teal'c.
Mom, you want to pause that real quick?
I'm almost done.
Okay, you want to pause that real quick?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. Maybe. We'll see. We'll figure it out.